Hi everyone and welcome to another video on I Do Care. Today we're going to talk about several topics, but they all are related about the follow-up that the doggies receive once they are adopted. When we find them a good family and we take them with them. Many of you ask us if we follow up on them, if we tell the adopters to neuter them when they are old enough. Many times, the doggies we take are still puppies and we deliver them without neutering. Although I want you to know that this is only while we are living here, because once we have our own house, we will have enough space to have the puppies long enough to deliver them neutered. That's the goal. We want to get to the point where we don't deliver a single animal without neutered. We know how important it is. But for the moment, both for the space as well as for the economic side, we cannot manage it like we would love it. But well, for the moment, what we do is inform the adopter that he has to neuter the puppy once he is old enough. And a few months later, when we estimate that the animal is already old enough to be neutered, we contact the adopter and we ask, how is that going? If he has already been neutered or when he is going to do it, and if for some reason the adopter tells us that he has not been able to neuter him or will not be able to do it soon, then we will take care of it. If he is an adopter who lives nearby, we will pick up the animal and take it to the vet ourselves. And if it's too far away, then we will schedule the visit by phone at the vet that works it well for him, and we will coordinate and pay for the spaying. So on that side, as soon as to the neutering of the animal, that will be the procedure. And if you are wondering how we know when it will be the turn to each animal to be neutered, well, for that and other things, we have a control Excel in which we take note of deliver date, name of the animal, name of the adopter, with whom they live, both humans and animals, contact telephone number, place where they live, medical expenses, if any, the cost of that expenses, and finally, we have the follow-up column, in which we have proof of things. For example, with Molly, when we gave her up for adoption, she had to go to the vet in 5 days because the stitches had to be removed. So we had written down, remove stitches in 5 days, and things like that. But above all, this column helps us for the spaying topic. For example, the first animal we gave up for adoption, the first and only kitten, that we have already agreed that this is going to change from now on, and we are going to help more kittens. Well, at the time the cell was red, but then it was Maria, her adopter, who in fact wrote us and also sent a picture, and here you have the evidence, telling me that they were at the vet and she had already taken him to be castrated. So that was great. Then we have Paloma, this beautiful white dog that we had some days at home too, and that she was adopted right away. In her case, the adopter did not have to neuter her because they had already neutered her at the shelter, so we marked her as neutered. But for example, the one that follows, Blue, another sweet little dog that we took her home far, far away, by the way. The adopter, a guy named Bruno, super nice people, he promised us to neuter her as soon as possible. And in that, he confirmed it to us just a few weeks later. We have written down the date on which each dog or cat would have to be neutered, and thus we will progressively contact the adopters to see if they are doing it, and if not, as I mentioned before, and with your help, we will take care of those spayings. Although I already told you, the goal is to be able to reach a point in which each and every one of the animals that we give up for adoption are already neutered. On the other hand, and as we are also in contact by WhatsApp, many of the adopters continue to send us pictures and videos of the pets even during the months following the adoption. But we have also opened a private group on Facebook in which adopters share pictures and videos of their doggies and kittens, so that other adopters can see how the rest of the adopted animals are doing. comment on the pictures of others, and thus create a beautiful and healthy community of adopters among all. Well, with this, I hope have left you a little calmer if you are one of those who had doubts about how we are handling these issues. But now, I want to tell you something else. As I have been commenting on these last videos, we are going to organize an adoption fair soon, and for which we are going to incorporate something that we have not done to date, and that is the adoption contract. So far, what we do to assess whether a person is suitable for us to give them an animal for adoption is to talk to them through the medium they write to us, which is usually Facebook, through which we can see a little about how is that person in their profile. But above all, we can interact with them and see what kind of person they are, in order to get an idea of how they are going to take care of the animal. And this process can last days between what we talk to the person and in turn we value others who are also contacting with us. However, when we set up the adoption fair, we will not have several days to talk to the people. The idea is that they come to where we have our space set up, interact with the animals, fall in love with one of them, and take him home to take care of him and love him as the new member of the family that he will be. And we will not have the opportunity to see his social networks and be able to assess more in depth what type of person is. So for that and other reasons, we want to start implementing an adoption contract that, although deep inside, I know the contract is useless at the moment of the truth, and I have to confess this here with you, because in the end, if the adopter is a bastard who is going to end up harming the animal or abandoning it or whatever, I know that at least today in Costa Rica, and the way the laws are, no matter how many contracts we have, we won't be able to do anything. But I think that it can lay ethical and moral foundations that can create a certain sense of commitment of the adopter towards the animal and towards us. And it may also distance those people who we don't want for our animals. Because seeing so much commitment in the contract and so many requirements that they will have to meet, I don't know. We are going to try to do it and see how it goes, and for which we would like you to give us a hand with this. So I'm going to tell you a little about the requirements and conditions that we have been listing, and if you think of anything else more, we will greatly appreciate it if you write it below in the comments. 1. Spaying commitment, if applicable, if the animal has not been yet neutered. 2. Adoption fee of $20 or donation of sack of food over 7 kilos of a recognized brand. This is not because we want the money. There are many people who get angry because they say that we sell the animals, but this is not the reason why, because we may spend $100, $200, $300 in a dog, and after that we cross all the country just driving our car, paying gas and tolls. It is not for the money, really. But it is the only way to ensure that the person does not mind spending money on the animal. Because having an animal means that you will have expenses to take good care of it. And with this requirement, we take away many people we know that before spending money on an animal, he would get rid of it. And if the person is thinking mad about the money and he doesn't want to offer money for the animal, then he can demonstrate what we want to know, making his contribution in another way, such as the sack of food. 3. Commitment not to abandon under any circumstances. 4. If it is given to another person due to force majeure, it must be notified. And if the person don't have no one to give it to, the animal will be returned to us. 5. The animal has to sleep inside the house, not in the garden, under the rain, in the cold nights or so warm days. No, the animal has to be inside the house. 6. Good nutrition and care. You know, baths, nails, ears, basic things for all animals. 7. Necessary walks so that the animal does not have to relieve itself in its place of rest or habitual place to be. 8. Basic health control, annual vaccinations, deworming, etc. 9. Notify us of any change of address or phone number. 10. Join the I Do Care Facebook group actively and post pictures and/or videos of the animal at least once every 3 months. I think it is reasonable. If the person don't use Facebook, then send photos and videos via WhatsApp to our number. 11 and last, if at any time the animal is removed due to improper care, the adopter is responsible for all the medical expenses that the animal requires for its complete recovery. Roughly speaking, these will be the points that we will include in the contract. I know that we have not mentioned anything about the chip, but nowadays we believe that Costa Rica is not ready for this. However, and when we will be in a better situation economically, it is something that we also want to start doing. Deliver to all dogs chipped, neutered, and chipped. Regardless of the contract, we are also going to write a form that will help us to assess how good a candidate for adoption is in a clearer and more concise way. The form will be given to a person who wants to adopt, and the contract will be given to a person who is already adopting, who is going to receive the animal. For the form, we are going to give it a little shape with the help of Terry, Edwin's adopter, who has done many volunteers with animal rescue associations in Texas and has very kindly given us a lot of information about it. But we will comment on this in another video, so as not to DC more for today. For the moment, let's focus in the contract. Thank you very much for your contributions. We are going to shape this contract little by little, and as we have it already, we will find the best adopters. Thank you very much for joining us in one more video. Remember that you can also follow us in our Instagram, IDoCareCR, where we publish a little more about our day-to-day. Please give us a hand in this endless fight. Below in the description of the video, I leave you the links to our Patreon and PayPal, through which you can help us on a one-off or on a monthly basis. I hope you liked the video. Please leave your comments. It is always a pleasure to read you. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you like what we do. And if so, I leave you here a couple of videos that probably you will like them too. I send you a big hug and see you very soon.